Chào mừng quý vị đang cùng đến với chương trình Việt Nam trong tim tôi. Và như vậy là Nguyên Khang đã vượt qua một đoạn đường khá là xa từ thành phố Hồ Chí Minh để đến với Bình Dương và cùng gặp gỡ nhân vật của tuần này. Ông là một người Pháp rất yêu Việt Nam, là người có vai trò quan trọng trong việc thúc đẩy hoạt động kinh tế giữa Việt Nam và châu Âu. Và hơn thế nữa, ông là một người hoạt động xã hội rất tích cực với vai trò là ban điều hành của Hội Trẻ Em Đường phố Sài Gòn Charity. Ngày hôm nay, chúng ta sẽ cùng bước vào nhà để tìm hiểu về ông Cany để biết thêm về nhân vật đặc biệt này nhé. So today we are very happy to have you as a characters in our programs. That is Vietnam is our heart. We just wondering that's how many years that have you been staying here?
To be 10 years very soon.
It means that you are very familiar with Vietnam and know everything about here?
Probably not everything, but yeah, I love this country, as you know, and I believe I understand Vietnam pretty well.
There are many countries in the world, but why you choose Vietnam to settle your life here?
I have been living in Asia for about 30 years, most of the time in Hong Kong and China. And I was visiting Vietnam since 1986, about 26 years from Hong Kong regularly. And I think step by step I fall in love with Vietnam. I was born in Madagascar. The scenery here is pretty similar to Madagascar, with a lot of rice field, with buffalo. I feel well in Vietnam because that reminds me the first 10 or 12 years of my life.
So it means that from 1996, the first time you put your step here in Vietnam?
Yeah, in Hanoi. That was my first trip to Hanoi with my wife.
Oh. Any story relating to Hanoi that you still remember?
We have a few, of course, and maybe one in particular. It's a story I have with a cyclo driver. Which when we were in Hanoi, we stayed at the Metropole Hotel, and we spent a couple of days with the cyclo going around. And I remember very well a very old man. It was, I think he was already 60 at the time. And my wife has as an idea to buy a book about Vietnamese food, Vietnamese cooking recipe. And we asked the cyclo to bring us to stores to be able to buy some books, eventually in French language, because my wife doesn't speak perfect English. We spent almost a full day looking for this book here and there, and we could not find it.
Okay.
And my wife was not a big deal, but she was a bit disappointed that we could not find it. And just before we left the country, leaving the hotel to go back to the airport, in front of the hotel, our cycloman was there on the next day. He was waiting for us, and he came to my wife with a very old book. It was the book, the mother passed away, and the book was the book of the mother. The mother has worked as a cook for French people in the past. And he brought the book to my wife, said, "I'm sorry, I could not find the book for you yesterday. But when I came back home, my brother told me that we have a book of Vietnamese recipe in French and Vietnamese, which was made by our mother when she was working for the French family a long time ago." And he gave the book to my wife as a gift. And of course my wife said, no, it's belong to your family, you should keep it. Sorry, I can leave without the book. Maybe I will come back and I will find another one. Don't worry about it. But he was very sincere. He said, no, it's I want you to take this book. I had good time with you yesterday and the day before. I want you to take this book and to keep a good souvenir of your first visit to Vietnam. And that's, somewhere I think I appreciate very much his attitude, his sincerity, and maybe it's one of the reasons. We like Vietnamese people very much. I have been a banker all of my life, so I was working for a big international bank in Hong Kong. And one day I got a chance to come to Vietnam. Before that, I came back to Vietnam almost every year. I have some business here in Vietnam for the bank. And one day my boss told me, Alain, it looks like you like Vietnam so much. We would like you to move to Vietnam to take the position as a country manager for the bank. My wife also, she was born in North Africa. We all our life we were living in country with warm weather. And one of the reasons I like very much here is that when you wake up in the morning, you open your windows, the sky is always blue. So that gives you optimism. That give you cannot say it's going to be a bad day. It can only be a good day.
10 years staying here and working and had a lot of impression in Vietnam. Do you think that you will settle your life stability here for long time?
Oh yeah, we have decided with my wife that we will retire here. I cannot say I will stay here forever because you never know, depending very much on your health. But our plan is to stay here for quite some time.
So how about your hometown?
Even we are very pleased to go back to France time to time. We have a house in France on the seaside. It's a nice country. We love the country. But I feel much better here than in France because maybe the weather, also the people, Vietnamese people are enthusiastic people. They are young, they are enthusiastic. When you become a bit old like me, I still feel very young, but I'm not so young anymore. If you are surrounded by young people which are optimistic like the Vietnamese, that gives me the energy. In France, people are, the economic situation is not great. People, the morale is down. People are not very enthusiastic. They complain about everything. So I'm happy to be here.
You have played a very important role to develop the relationship, the connection between the Vietnam economies and the Eurocha. So, what do you think? Why you are so very passionate to develop the relationship between Vietnam and Europe?
I like this country. I would like to help this country to develop well in a good and right direction. If I can try to build up a better Vietnam and to improve the relationship between Vietnam and Europe, it will be good.
You are paying attention more to Vietnam economy to help us. So any story relating to the way that you have Vietnam economies to in about the Eurocham?
I have been sharing the Eurocham for 7-8 years. Most of the time, my role as a chairman was to try to convince the Vietnamese government to improve the business environment for European companies. But of course, if you want to improve it for European companies, you have to improve it for everybody. Vietnamese companies, American companies, and then as a European company, you benefit as well. So I believe the Vietnamese government liked very much my approach, my strategy, which I was not criticizing, I was not trying to favor European versus Vietnamese or others. My personal strategy was really to try to improve for everybody, to transfer what we call best practice and expertise from Europe to Vietnam, because we have a longer history in business. And I believe the Vietnamese people like it. They say, oh, this guy wants to improve. He has some energy, he has some time, let's discuss with him. So I was lucky that at the end, I believe it can only be a win-win, because I bring some contribution to improve the business for European, but at the same time, it happens for Vietnamese and non-European and non-Vietnamese. So, and not against European interests. I think I do it with great pleasure. I have one particular story which made me a little bit unpopular among Europeans. for a period of time, Europe has decided to get the Vietnamese companies to pay some duty, you know, for what we call anti-dumping, because the European government thought that the Vietnamese were getting some advantages from the government free of charge to support their export to Europe. So the European governments have decided to get some additional tax paid, import duties paid by the people buying shoes made in Vietnam and also shoes made in China. So I didn't like it. I say, look, this is not a good decision. It's not fair because many European businesses are making shoes in Vietnam, all right? And many European companies are buying shoes from Vietnam. So as a chairman of Eurocham, I say, look, this is not good. It's not good for European and definitely it's not good for Vietnam. But of course, you have a lot of political influence through the ambassadors, through European government. They say, hey, Alain, you are the chairman of Eurocham. You should not say so. I say, I'm sorry. I say what I want first. I'm a very free person. Two, I believe this is not against European interest. I believe this is supporting European interest. And if I can help the Vietnamese, so that's make me very popular in Vietnam because I was talking to the media, I was talking to the government and to European senior official visiting Vietnam that they should change this decision. And finally, after fighting for 3 years, we managed to get this duty out about a year ago. I was very pleased, and of course, I believe the government was very pleased.
Thank you very much for what you have done, you get some of the achievement about making it better. Thưa quý vị, chúng ta vừa lắng nghe một cuộc trò chuyện hết sức thú vị của một người Pháp hiện đang sinh sống và làm việc tại Việt Nam thông qua những hoạt động kinh tế, những hoạt động kinh doanh mà ông đang thực hiện tại Việt Nam, cũng như những hoạt động xã hội nữa. Và có lẽ là những thông tin tiếp theo về nhân vật khá là thú vị này đang rất được quý vị chờ đón. Thế thì hãy tiếp tục theo dõi chương trình Việt Nam trong tim tôi của chúng tôi vào số lần sau để tìm hiểu về nhân vật ông Alain Cany.